Hello, YouTube. How's everybody doing? I hope your week's going good so far. So today's Tuesday, and on Tuesdays, I'd like to give you guys updates on my top, or in this case, my cardigan I'm making. If you're new to the channel, here's a little backstory on how this cardigan became the cardigan. I have this top pattern I printed out, oh goodness, I want to say about 7, 8 years ago, minimum. And I finally decided when I started doing tops on my channel that, like on a regular time schedule type thing, I want to make that top. I had this red yarn. I know, red on me. Like, yeah, I can wear green. Red, not so much. But I had this red fuzzy yarn that was donated to me. And I thought, this is the thin yarn. It's light. It's not, I know there's wool in it, but it doesn't feel scratchy. I can wear it on my skin. So I thought, let's go forth and make this top in this yarn. Well, I never did mark on the pattern which size I was making, so I think I lost track on that to start with. And then in the chart, you had to go to, once you got to row, I think it was 6 and 7, you actually went back and did 3 and 4. Well, instead of going back to 8 and 9 after I did the 3 and 4 repeat, I just continued on to row 5. Or whatever the numbers exactly were, but it was more or less like that. I didn't go back to the end of the pattern. I just continued on like I was starting a whole new set. So one of the separation sections was bigger than, or smaller than it should have been by a long shot. And I looked at it and I counted it and I thought, I don't know what I'm doing here. And once I counted it and figured out how many numbers I had, it didn't add up to any of the numbers that were in my chart or in the sizings. So I thought, okay, I've done something wrong. I ended it there. I turned it into a little cowl type idea. It was big enough I could double it and, you know, nice and warm around the neck. So that's what I turned it into. So that was fine. I thought, I really do like this pattern. It's done in a round. It was pretty simple. I thought I could whip this up no problem. Yeah, not so much. So I decided I was going to make a cardigan. Now the pattern is done in even numbers, and unfortunately one of the rounds you do a double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, and then you slip stitch to the first double crochet. Well, I thought, okay, if I'm going to do it back and forth in rows, I got to do even numbers, so I have a double crochet at both ends. So that was no problem. I just added an extra stitch, made it quite simple. Then I was hemming and hawing if I was going to do it in 2 separate panels and then stitch up the middle and then have the 2 pieces separated and go over the shoulder. Well, for those who know me, no, I do not like to sew. I sew as little as possible. I'm not very good at it. I'm proud to admit it. Doesn't matter how much practice I give myself. If I can't crochet it together or slip stitch it together, I try not to make it. That's why when I make granny squares, I attach as I go. If I'm doing multiple squares, just to, you know, less work on my part. Sewing in the ends, that's one story. Sewing parts together, if you see my amigurumis, they're never straight. Something's off, something's wonky, but that's just me. So I decided originally I was going to do the 2 panels and then stitch them together some way, somehow, up the back. And I had, I think, 2 rows done of the second panel. Well, while at the camper over last week when hubby was on holidays, I didn't like that anymore, and I thought, nope, we're going to rip that out, and we are going to attach the new ball again, because, of course, I already cut off from when I finished the first panel, and we're going to go up half the stitches, and then we're going to do the foundless single crochet row to make up the rest of the stitches, and then work the pattern in reverse. So do row 9 first, which is perfect because the row with the eyelets, like the double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, it's a single crochet that you did before it, like the row before, and a single crochet after, but technically you're supposed to do 2 stitches in the chain 1 space. Well, I'm doing 1 stitch in the double and 1 in the chain 1 space just because of that extra double crochet that's on my pattern. And so because it's a single crochet on either end of it, it's easy to do it in reverse. So I'm going to try and hold this up the best I can. We're going to show you the back first. Now where the stitch marker is on the front side, it's just there because I didn't want to lose my stitch marker. So as you can see, there's the V where it splits, okay? So we got one side and the other side. And then here's the back as of so far. Right in here is where it changed from the one panel to the other. And then so far on the front, I know my camera's kind of close. No, there went my mouse. On the front, so I've got the one panel, which is done. You guys can see. And then the second panel so far, this is all I've got done on it. And then, like I said, the neck part, so that's at the back. So I'm liking it so far. It's going to be very nice and warm. Very, very proud of it. Love it. Like it's going to be long as well. Like it's going to go below, a little bit below the hip butt area, which is what I wanted. Now, once I get it put together, like the side seams done, and once I know where the armholes are going to be, I'm going to do the arms in the round like it's supposed to be done. And that way there's no sewing of the seam, under the arm kind of thing. I just got to figure out how often I'm going to decrease. I'm going to work both arms at the same time. Because the second panel that I've been doing, started the new Pound of Love yarn. I have a good sized cake left from the first Pound of Love, so that I'm going to have two little cakes made up and can do both arms at once. Now, I was going to, and I know here you can't tell, I meant to take a picture while I was at the camper. Give me 1 minute here. I bought this burgundy yarn at the same time I bought this other yarn. Now, this is a lighter burgundy color. It's a Bernat yarn. I don't know how you guys are going to be able to see how bright it is. But I'm debating on if I want to do that or do it in a black. Like, this is quite dark compared to this. So I don't, and there is black flecks, like black throughout this color. So I don't know if I want to go a lighter color, do a bright burgundy as my trim, or if I want to do a black. So what I'm going to do is next time I'm at the camper, I'm going to take a skein of black with me, and I'm going to lay this out on the grass probably, and then I'm going to lay the burgundy on it and the black on it, and then take a picture of it all together, and hopefully you guys will help me pick which one to go with. I'm thinking the burgundy, but I don't know. I'm thinking it might be too bright, where the black may be too dark, though. So, I don't know, but I'm not there yet, obviously. I got a ways to go on this project. But that's my cardigan so far. If you like what I've done so far and you'd like to see the finishing project and you're new to my channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button, turn on notifications. I am mainly a yarn channel. I crochet and I knit. I do, when I'm home, try to put up videos every day. Sometimes it may be a little update video on my garden. If I don't have a specific yarn video to put out that day, I may show you guys a little bit of an update on my garden I'm attempting on my balcony this year. First time ever growing a vegetable garden. And so far, it's going okay. Like I mentioned earlier in this video, I do go camping with my husband a lot. We have a really nice new camper we bought a few years ago. And spend a lot of time up there, summer and winter. And yes, I am in Southern Ontario. We do some camping in the winter. It's only like, an overnight weekend trip kind of thing. The only thing about the camper I don't like is there's actually no heater in the bedroom. Why they didn't run it through under the couch, I don't know. I would have done it that way myself, so that at least there was a heat vent in the living room, but there isn't. Thank goodness for heavy blankets. So you never know, I may put up videos from the camper. Like I mentioned in my video the other day, free fishing for the year is done, so there'll be nothing else on fishing till some point next year. But yes, we do fish for the sport, catch and release. We've got some pretty doozy fish. You have to go back a little ways, but I do have a little slideshow in one of my videos showing you guys a bunch of different fish I've caught in the past. For those who have fished before or do know different fish, Bullfins and largemouth bass. Oh my goodness. What a battle I had with both of them, and I enjoyed it big time. And the funny thing is, I'm catching all these fish in the same spot that I always fish at. So, but yeah, no more fishing videos for the year. What other stuff you might see on my channel? You never know, right? So, anyways, consider subscribing. I would love to have you. And you guys have a great day. And I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.